The man never expected that just because he awakened the most useless abnormal state skill, he would be ridiculed by the goddess, and even thrown into the dark abandoned ruins. You should know that there are all ferocious and brutal monsters inside. As long as anyone enters, no one will survive. However, what the goddess doesn't know is that the most useless abnormal state skill is the most abnormal appearance on the male protagonist's side. In the future, the male protagonist will even become her most difficult enemy. Before this, the male protagonist was just a little transparent in the class. He originally wanted to travel quietly, but he didn't expect that a burst of light suddenly swept the entire bus. The next second, they traveled to another world. Then someone who called herself a goddess told everyone that they were heroes chosen to go to another world, and that the purpose of calling them here was to defeat the most evil demon emperor in this world. As soon as this was said, everyone was immediately panicked. Traveling and encountering such a strange thing, the sword hit the goddess and threw a bomb. We can return to the original world only by defeating the demon emperor and obtaining the evil king element. The troublemakers in the classical Chinese class even shouted, "Why do you implicate us with your own troubles? And we are just ordinary people. Isn't it a mess to fight the demon king?" However, the goddess did not answer him, but let her subordinates release 7 dragons to let him attack humans unscrupulously, until the group of time travelers was shocked. He used magic to slowly defeat the other party. Witnessing this, everyone hesitated to be modest and could only unleash their talents as the goddess demanded. They only needed to put their palms on the crystal. The more dazzling the shining light, the more awakened it was. The higher the level, the more small fish and shrimps awaken. The leader of the class actually broke the crystal ball directly, which also means that he is an S-level hero. The goddess didn't expect that an S-level hero wouldn't always appear during normal times. This time, there were 3. She originally thought that the male protagonist would be the 4th one, but when he showed the weakest purple light, she changed her attitude and quickly urged the next person to come on stage. The male protagonist was not surprised by this kind of neglect. After 2.5 minutes of awakening, the goddess began to instruct them to open their attribute panels. When the male protagonist opened the panel, he found himself at the lowest level with surprisingly low attributes. Luckily, he had 3 built-in skills: paralysis, hypnosis, and poisoning. After everyone knew how to operate, the goddess began the most important ceremony. I saw her having someone drive the hero to a special altar. It turned out that there was a weird rule here. That is, the worst heroes must be dealt with. After all, there were waste heroes who dragged down the power of high-level heroes. However, if they were dealt with directly, it might have a negative impact on the heroes. So the goddess decided to give the hero one opportunity, is to throw the male protagonist into a certain ruins. If he can come out alive, he will not interfere with anything the male protagonist does.
Is it a dangerous ruin? Yes. In the past, most of the criminals and warriors who were judged to be dangerous were sent to the ruins.
Hero Wenyan quickly informed the goddess of his skill, but upon learning he was in an unusual state, her mockery intensified. It turned out that the success rate of using this skill on the worst monsters was only 0.1%. In other words, it was the same as not having it. Faced with this situation, the students in the red class not only did not stop him, but even told him to take it away quickly. For a while, the hero could only dream helplessly and use his own skills towards the goddess. However, this skill not only had no effect on him, but also increased his mockery. This also made him completely black. If he could come back alive, he would. After that, the hero came to the first level, and he subconsciously turned on the flashlight. But he didn't expect that this action almost killed his little brother. A monster suddenly attacked him. Luckily, he reacted quickly and dodged the fatal blow, instinctively running for his life. But running away blindly only delayed the time of death. This reminded him of the ugly sins just now. He was very unwilling, so he used his skills on the monster. Unexpectedly, the monster actually stopped, and the hero also took advantage of this time to escape. However, along the way, he thought it was a coincidence until the second monster appeared. He launched a skill at the opponent again. Sure enough, the opponent was also stunned. He was unable to move, and this also made him realize that his abnormal state skills could be 100% successful, but it was a bit mana-consuming. At this time, the monster just now caught up again. But with the discovery just now, the male protagonist was now, the transformation has been completed. Come on, let's start the competition for survival.